Let's get one thing straight. There are people who will keep you close, not because they value you, but because they fear losing the control they never earned. They don't want to love you, they don't want to commit to you, but they also can't stand the thought of someone else doing what they refuse to do. That's not love, that's possession, that's ego. And if you don't wake up to the game, you'll keep mistaking breadcrumbs for a meal and confusion for chemistry. You weren't made to be someone's maybe. You're not a backup plan. You are the standard. So today we're breaking this down because once you see the game, you stop playing it. Some people don't want a relationship with you, they want access to you. That's it. Access to your softness, your energy, your time. They want to know they can call you, text you, come back to you when they feel like it, but they have no intention of building anything meaningful with you. And that's the first red flag. You'll start noticing it when they never fully let you in, but never fully let you go either. They'll do just enough to keep you emotionally invested, but not enough to give you clarity. You'll feel like you're always guessing, you're always reaching, always waiting for them to show up. And they like it that way because it keeps them in control. You might try to convince yourself that they're just going through something, or they'll come around once they realize how amazing you are. But deep down, you feel it in your gut. This isn't confusion, it's avoidance. They don't want the work, they just want the reward. And the moment you stop handing it to them without effort, they'll either disappear or they'll start playing harder to keep control. Here's the truth. You are not here to be someone's ego boost. You are not here to be convenient, to be background noise, or to be the emotional band aid for someone who refuses to heal. Your presence is powerful. And when someone truly values you, they make that known. Access without respect is not love, it's entitlement. And you don't entertain entitlement. It's almost like clockwork. The minute your energy changes, the minute you stop responding the way you used to, they sense it. Suddenly, the same person who wouldn't be consistent is texting good morning again and planning real dates, bringing up a future they never cared to build before. And it feels convincing because deep down, you still want to believe in the version of them that you fell for. But let's call it what it is. It's performance. It's not because they had a breakthrough. It's not growth. It's a reaction to your withdrawal, a reaction to their fear of losing control over you. Because when your absence gets louder than their games, that's when they start doing damage control. But not because they're ready to step it up, because they don't want to lose access. You have to recognize the difference between someone trying to win you back and someone trying to reel you back in. One is rooted in real effort, real change, real intention, and the other is just temporary. It's temporary effort designed to keep you from walking away. And if you fall for it every time, you end up in a loop, one where you constantly have to pull away just to feel seen. The truth is, love doesn't require theatrics. If someone only shows up when they feel you slipping, that's not love. That's fear of loss. And if they can't stay consistent after they get you back, they never deserved you in the first place. There are people who will treat you like a prized possession they never plan to properly use, like an expensive coat they only bring out when they want to feel important. They don't want you growing, they don't want you evolving, and they definitely don't want you moving on. They want to keep you just close enough that they can come back whenever they want on their terms. It's a strange form of manipulation, but emotional hoarding is real. It's when someone doesn't want to love you properly, but also can't stomach the idea of you being loved by someone else. So they feed you just enough to keep you emotionally hungry, just enough to stop you from completely detaching. It's selfish and it's damaging. You start questioning your own judgment. You wonder if you gave up too soon. You start remembering only the good moments and then forgetting how often you were waiting, wondering, and hurting. That's how emotional hoarders win. They make you feel like walking away means giving up on something valuable, when in reality, it's just giving up on being devalued. You are not made to be somebody's emergency backup. You are not their ego boost. You are not a comfort zone they can use and then ignore. You are to be honored. And the moment you recognize that, you stop waiting around for someone to finally pick you. When consistency fails, chaos steps in. Suddenly, things are dramatic for no reason. Arguments pop up out of nowhere. One day, everything feels fine. The next day, it's silent treatment. This kind of behavior is not random, it's calculated. When someone starts sensing they're losing emotional control over you, they'll disrupt your peace to pull you back into their storm. Why? Because peace gives you clarity, and clarity gives you strength. When you're grounded and calm, you can see the situation for what it is, and they know that. So they create just enough conflict, confusion, and emotional drama to make you question your progress. They want to keep you in reaction mode because when you're reacting, you're not walking away. They gaslight you, flip situations on you, accuse you of being distant just to throw you off balance. And suddenly you're defending yourself, trying to prove your loyalty to someone who never had any intention of being loyal to you. It's a trap. And it's one that way too many people fall into when they confuse chaos with passion. Real love is not chaotic. It doesn't feel like emotional whiplash. It doesn't come with confusion, tension, or anxiety. When someone is committed to you, they won't constantly put you in a position to question your own peace just so they can feel secure in their mess. They'll talk to you every day. They'll call you, check in, flirt, maybe even sleep with you. But when it's time to define the relationship, suddenly it's, I don't want to ruin what we have, or let's just see where this goes. Translation, they want the emotional and physical perks of being with you, but none of the accountability. They want loyalty without commitment, intimacy without depth, support without showing up when it matters. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing that what they're offering is good enough. You'll lower your standards to match their availability. But here's what they won't tell you. They know you want more. They're just hoping you'll keep quiet about it. They're hoping that you'll keep waiting, that you'll keep proving you're worth choosing. And in the meantime, they're free to explore their options while you stay loyal to the illusion of something real. You deserve more than someone who wants everything from you while offering you nothing solid in return. You deserve effort, clarity, consistency, and someone who isn't afraid to name and claim what they're building with you. If it's vague, if it's always complicated, if you're doing relationship work without the relationship, it's time to reevaluate. This one hits hard because they'll move on. They'll be out with someone new, living their life, making it seem like they're fine. But the minute that they notice you healing and glowing up and focusing on yourself, they resurface. A text, a hey, how you been? A random inside joke, not because they want you back, but because they don't want you to be free. It's not about love, it's about ego. They want to know they still have access. They want to know they still cross your mind. It's a power thing. If they think they can keep you emotionally connected to them, even while they've moved on, they feel like they've won. But what they're really doing is trying to stall your growth. You'll feel the pull. You'll wonder if maybe they've changed, if maybe the timing is finally right. But nothing about who they are has shifted. They just saw you moving on and couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle not being centered in your story anymore. So they throw a line out, hoping you'll bite. Here's the rule. If someone had access to you and still chose to fumble it, they don't get to interrupt your peace just because they feel nostalgic. Let them miss you. Let them wonder. Let them feel the absence of what they took for granted. But you don't go back to what broke you just because it remembers your name. At first, it feels magical. Everything you say, they agree with. Your humor, your taste, your goals, somehow they match all of it. It feels like you finally found someone who gets you. But over time, it becomes clear they weren't connecting with you. They were mimicking you, not because it was real, but because they were trying to earn your trust without actually earning your place. Mirroring is manipulation at its smoothest. It's not always malicious, but it's always calculated. Instead of being authentic, they become a reflection of what they think you want. It's all performance. And when the mask starts slipping, because it will slip, when you stop reacting the same or stop giving them constant validation, they shift. Suddenly they're distant, they're cold, or they'll lash out. That's because the connection wasn't based on truth. It was based on tactics. And when someone builds a bond with you based on strategy instead of sincerity, the entire foundation crumbles the minute you start asking for consistency. They didn't fall in love with you. They built a version of themselves that would make you fall. Real connection doesn't require performance. It doesn't require someone to mirror you to keep you close. It's built through honesty, not limitation. If someone can't be themselves around you from the start, they're not in it to grow with you. They're in it to control how you see them. This one's a psychological trap. You never know where you stand with them. One day they're affectionate, the next day they're indifferent. They talk about the future, then they disappear when it's time to actually show up. You're constantly left wondering, you're second guessing, you're walking on eggshells just to maintain some form of connection. Here's why it works. Uncertainty creates obsession. Your brain starts to chase the high of the good moments even when they're fleeting. You start attaching to potential instead of patterns, and they know that. They've trained you to equate inconsistency with excitement, and that's exactly how they keep you. You find yourself working harder for reassurance. You start bending your own boundaries just to stay in good graces. You begin to question your expectations, your value, your gut. That confusion, that's the hook. And they're counting on you never breaking free from it. But let me be clear, real love doesn't feel like instability. Real love is not a guessing game. If someone wants you, they don't make you wonder. They make you feel safe. They make you feel clear. And if clarity makes them uncomfortable, that's not your person. The moment you start creating distance, they flip the script. Suddenly, you're the one who changed. You're cold. You never gave them a chance. They pull every emotional lever they can find: sadness, reflection, fake vulnerability, all designed to make you feel bad for protecting yourself. And because you're empathetic, you pause. You wonder if you were too harsh. You start replaying everything in your mind, looking for where you went wrong. That's exactly what they want. Because if they can get you to feel guilty, they think they can get you to stay, not because anything has changed, but because now you feel responsible for their healing, their feelings, their loneliness. But guilt is not a reason to stay. Sympathy is not the same thing as connection. Just because someone is hurting doesn't mean they're healing. Just because they express pain doesn't mean they changed. Sometimes people don't want a second chance. They just want to reset the cycle. You don't owe anyone your peace, your presence, or your loyalty just because they finally decided to reflect after damaging you. Growth doesn't require guilt tripping, and your boundaries don't make you the villain. They make you wise. Here's what it really comes down to. They never wanted you to open your eyes. They wanted you in fog, constantly doubting, constantly hoping, constantly trying to understand them. Because when you're distracted by fantasy, you don't see the facts. And the fact is, they were never choosing you fully. They were only choosing the version of you that served them. They fear your clarity because clarity leads to detachment. Once you stop romanticizing who they could be and start accepting them for who they're consistently showing you they are, the illusion breaks. And once the illusion breaks, so does their power. You become quiet, you stop asking, you stop chasing, and that silence, that unbothered distance, it's terrifying to someone who thrived on your confusion. That's when they'll act out. That's when they'll show you their true character. But then it won't even matter because you've already seen enough. You don't need a grand closure speech. You don't need a final apology. What you need is the truth. And once you get honest with yourself, once you stop gaslighting your own intuition, there's no going back. That's when the game ends. Not because they stopped playing, but because you stopped showing up for it. So now that you've seen the game, and now that you've felt the confusion of breadcrumbs and the emotional push and pull, what do you do? Because knowing isn't enough. You have to act differently. You've got to take your power back in real time. So here's how you'll stop being a pawn in someone else's ego trip, and you'll start moving like the queen or king that you are. So number one, don't explain your worth, enforce it. The moment someone makes you feel like you have to prove that you're valuable, you're already giving away your power. Stop talking. Start moving different. Distance speaks louder than dialogue. Number two, go no contact or low access. I've done this video for y'all before. You can go back to that one. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your energy, especially when they've shown you and they've misused it. Emotional detachment isn't cruelty, it's clarity, it's boundaries, and it's how you protect your peace. Number three, stop reacting, start observing. The second you stop over explaining and just watch people, it'll show you exactly who they are. Let their behavior speak and respond with action, not emotion. Number four, don't match their game. Exit. You don't need to play mind games. That's not your level. When someone starts playing, don't play back, disengage. That's how you maintain power without losing your character. Number five, reconnect with yourself. Manipulators thrive when you're unsure of yourself, when you're insecure. So rebuild your routine, your standards, your focus. That's how you become unshakable. And once you're grounded in you, they can't shake you and play those games anymore. So what I want y'all to really understand is just to walk away with grace. Let the game end with your silence, not your breakdown. You're not hard to love. You're just entertaining someone who didn't know how to. And from this moment forward, let access to you be earned, not assumed. I hope this helped y'all. I really appreciate you guys for sharing these videos with your family and friends and thinking of those who need it. And until next time, love y'all. Bye.